Okay, well, the billets are done, pretty much. The fellow I'm making this for asked if I could space these a little bit closer. So I just took my strap cutter, cut this strap down, refinished the edges, and stitched it together. It's about, I cut it a little bit over a 1/4 inch smaller. So that gets these to a little bit less than 3/4 inches apart, which is what he was asking. This is the other end of the billet. And it's sized to the middle hole. Well, it will be anyway, sized to the middle hole. And these fit through here. So that's the billet, or the billets. The buckle, the center of the buckle is at the center of these two billets. So that puts it right in the middle, centered between the two ends. Now, it's time to work on the strap. Well, let me show you a few things first. When I make my straps, I cut it to the length where the end of the billet is even with the end of the strap. Like that there. And then on this side, I'm going to put this together and I'll show you real quick. Yeah, these are just clothespins. The end of this one is even with where, oh, not quite there. There we go. With where the billet folds over to hold the buckle. And that's how I size my straps to my billets. Now, he wanted a 38-inch, his belt size that he sent me was 38 inches. And that was measured from the fold over here to his favorite hole, which is the middle hole there. But I made these a little over 39 inches apart. And you may be asking, well, why is that? When he's got a 38, when his belt size is 38 inch. Well, let me show you something real quick. When you put this in here and you buckle it, look at that over there. And this goes through here. Well, it does, trust me. There we go. Now what you'll notice is that now this inner strap is a good inch longer than this. So if I made this, there we go, pull that tight. So if I made this exactly 38 inches for his belt size, it'd be too small. I had to add a little bit extra for the thickness of this belt, of the strap rather, and there's going to be another strap stitched inside of it. So in order to have the belt fit properly, I actually have to size it just a little bit bigger. So that's that there. Then I made a mock-up. Now, it's got a stitch groove right there. Then I put another line right there, and I just went through with the border stamp. Also, that's the concho. That's the biggest concho that's going to go on this belt. Now, I stitched it with some white thread, but honestly, I don't think that thread stands out enough. I have a thicker thread, stands out more like what I use on this holster. And you know, you can see the difference there. So, I'm planning on using the thicker thread just so the contrast stands out more and you can really see the angle of the stitch there, which is what I like even when it's down in a stitch groove. But first, I'm going to work on the outer layer of the billet. I've already got the stitch groove cut, and I've creased the inner I guess the inner line. Of course, I use my stitch groover to cut the stitch groove, and I use this one to set up as a creaser to put that line in. So I got to stamp the border on it, and I'm going to do a whole mock-up with the conchos and the billets and everything, get a picture of it, And before I start punching holes for the billets, I'm going to send a picture of that out to make sure that the conchos and everything are in their proper places or where the fella likes them. Then punch those holes, put the conchos on, a little bit of a thread lock, stitch the billets on, and then stitch the whole rest of the thing together. And we'll be back.